You're listening to the City World Radio Network. High-definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
It is September 3rd. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. That means a lot of retail shops and a lot of businesses are still suffering because people attach their vacations to their holiday and they get the extra weekend out of it. That's great. Hello, you're up front with Frank Rothstein. As you can tell by the way I talk. And sitting with me as always is a woman who brought looks like a 3-course meal here and a shot glass full of dressing for her salad. It is the very hungry Jade Zabrick. Hello, wait, let's get that camera turning around over here. Hello, everyone on Live Me. And wait, we'll get to it. Hold it. We want to get the switching camera. There we go. Let's see that first bite. Action.
What? I didn't even open it.
Well, we got time. Okay, that's not good. Do it again. Let's see. Where are we over here? When Jade is not eating, she also is in charge of her own station, Skies Crescent Radio. At Skies, S-K-Y-E-S, SkiesCrescentRadio.com. And from there, you get to see all the other places where we broadcast to. And we reach far and wide, being it's the internet. So that is the story with that. What's going on in the world today? Well, we do well. What am I going to say? Like, I can't acknowledge this. So we had another shooting. We had another shooting a couple of days ago. Guy was, it wasn't because he was fired from his job a few hours before. It wasn't. Supposedly he was having problems before, which may have led to him being fired a few hours before. But he was driving to wherever he was going, and he got stopped on a traffic stop. I think it was a signal light. Something, a signal light or a brake light, something as simple as that. And from there, that's when the shooting started. And that led to, I think, 7 dead and 21 injured. Yes, I think there was an AR-15. And just for all of you people taking a bet on what kind of gun it is, yes, there was an AR initial in front of it. Before I even go any further, let me put on this disclaimer, this moral disclaimer. I am not joking about this. I am not making light about this. I am not kidding. I am not shooing it off. This is deadly serious. But it is becoming almost normal that if I don't see this in the news, something's not right. It's almost like we're missing something. It sounds odd, but I'm used to seeing this. And I was reading, I think it was on the CNN thing, that when they do the math, they were covering some statistic. There have been more mass shootings, which, by the way, hello, Shanita on Live Me. There have been more mass shootings in America today than there have been days on the calendar. For a mass shooting, you have to have more than 4 people. I don't know how 4 people shot. Not necessarily killed, but shot. I don't know how they got to that number, but that's where it's settled. 4 people. So there have been more. Now, this does not mean that everybody goes out into the roadway and shoots like a sniper and starts plugging people. There's also been a lot of violence in Chicago. There's a lot of violence everywhere, for that matter. But on this statistic, there have been more shootings than there have been days on the calendar. That's something to really think about. This is what people... I'm having a bad day. Let me open fire. It is a sick thing, and everyone seems to have an AR-15, 17. I guess when they come up with the 18, they'll chuck away the 17s. And if you ban every one of them today, they'll think of another gun that works very well, because there are plenty of them that work very well. And this is really something. This really is something. I'm not going to sit there and start delving into where I'm just not. It's just, I don't get it. Everybody who goes to a gun show, goes to a Walmart, and I purposely mentioned Walmart, they all feel need to walk away with a military gun. The only thing of military grade that I have is a backpack and a duffel bag. I like strong material because I'm rough and everything. It doesn't mean I want to get a gun that I can be rough with and throw it on the floor. It means everybody goes out, figures they read about this in the magazine or saw it in the movie, or they're reading whatever it is they're reading, and figure, I got to have one too. And I don't know why. And then they open, and it's always the same place. Now, I don't mean the same address. It's always the same place. Some place where people are minding their own business. A school, a mall, a restaurant. You ever see the bombings in like in the Middle East? Someone gets a suicide bomber. Restaurant, market, somewhere where people who are not going to defend themselves. Show some balls. Go to a place where people can defend themselves, where they're prepared to... Huh? What?
Area 51.
Area 51. Go to Area 51. They're telling you don't come here. We're prepared to shoot. That means all you people with your own set of guns go and invade Area 51. I am personally opening up a bar, a hotel, and a diner on the border of Area 50 and Area 52. I want to feed people and get them coming. I want to make some money out of this. But really, crazy, stay away. Yeah. This is what happens. They go to places where people who are not or unable to, why not just like go and shoot up an old age home? They're laying in bed anyway. Go do it. Go to the intensive care unit. Oh, they're just laying there waiting for you. Go to a police station where they have guns all over the walls and on their hip. Go to some military outpost and see what happens. Give it a shot. Matter of fact, I remember the video from a few years ago. There's some guy dressed in that look, that shooter's look, the mask, the armament, and because you have an open carry permit, he wanted to test the police. First, he sets up a cop on a road stop, like, who am I? Well, I have a right to carry it, and he does. Then he wants to go lodge a complaint at a local police station. So he and his camera-holding friend, while he's in mask, with a rifle in his hand, or an automatic, semi-automatic weapon, or whatever, they go into a police station with his mask on, saying, I'd like to file a complaint, and every cop pulls out his gun, saying, drop it, put it on the floor, we're going to... it's an open carry, I have a permit. Drop the gun. And because you're walking into a police station, they didn't take them 2 seconds, guns are drawn. Go do that. Go threaten people who will test you. And that is what, give it a shot. That's it, So that's just what I'm thinking. And Walmart today, I purposely pulled, this is the first story, because I never get to use breaking news. Right now, CNN is going breaking news, breaking news, breaking news every 12 minutes. Walmart ends all handgun ammunition sales and asks customers not to carry guns into stores. And that is because, well, more like I'm guessing it's more of a political thing than anything else, or like, But the changes were prompted by the El Paso shooting, as well as the recent shootings in Dayton, Ohio, Midland, and Odessa, Texas. So, yeah, we got 4 of them, which means they're going to eliminate certain guns and limit the amount of ammunition you can buy. Limit the amount you can buy at one time. I'll just make 2 trips. I'll make 12 trips. I'll go to every different Walmart, and I'll keep making trips. It's a nice day out. I'm driving. I'll make trips. This is ridiculous. And like I say, this is dumb. And, of course, say something, and everyone whines, I got this, the right. The Second Amendment protects me. The Second Amendment is a short paragraph. This is not a very high-tech reading. You could read this easier than you could read a child's fairy tale. It simply provides for the right to be well-armed, a well-armed militia in case of a government overthrow. And that was done hundreds of years ago. They weren't prepared for this. Like the First Amendment doesn't give everyone a right on the internet to sit there and badger kids until they kill themselves. This is, trust me, whatever these bills were written for, it was not written for this. And it is, where's my clock? It's 5:10. If you'd like to call me up and tell me I'm right or wrong, give a call at 646-690-2976. 646-690-2976. Look at me. I'm looking at my phone here. I'm broadcasting live on LiveMe. Unfortunately, my phone acts like a mirror. Damn, I need a haircut. I need a shave. I just need a haircut, really. The beard itself is a little blotchy, but it looks okay. Cool 69 joined. Hello, how are you? Hello, Shanita, how are you? If on LiveMe, if you have any direct questions, I will answer them. I can read them live. I will answer them. Pick any subject I'm about to read. But what I'm about to do is play a song so I could shift gears properly. And over the weekend, I have been rediscovering my inner Fleetwood Mac. And they were always a fantastic band. So I'm going with one of my old classic favorites. It's Fleetwood Mac from the 1975 self-titled album, Say You Love Me. so I've been reading my serious stories first because let's get them out of the way. Okay, so here it is from the New York Post today, actually August 31st. New York City bicyclists are killing pedestrians and the city won't stop it. And I know, I don't want to read news stories because you're all going home from work anyway, and I know nobody wants to hear serious stuff after a stressful day at work. Pretty much New York City is doing nothing since it's not all one way. There's been, 19, 20 deaths on bicycles this year? But it's not only automobiles. It cannot be only the automobiles' fault. Some of them are just freak accidents. There was an accident in Brooklyn a couple of weeks ago. Some drunk kid hit another car, van, whatever. The van went moving and hit a bicyclist. The bicyclist died, unfortunately. That is not auto versus bicycle. It's just a freak accident. That has nothing to do with the drunk kid will be responsible either way. But it's not like it's just one of those things. But there are times when, truck drivers can't tell and things happen. But you sort of have to acknowledge a little bit to the fact that people on bicycles. Hello, Richie. People on bicycles. I'm saying hello to people on Live Me as I'm talking here and on Skies Crescent. And oh wow, the crowds. Look at those stats up there. The crowds are listed in the tens. Look at this. It's incredible. I see bicyclists all the time weaving in and out of traffic. I see in their designated bike lanes, not caring if someone's crossing the street. They ride in the opposite directions. They ride on the sidewalks. They have motorized bicycles, which really aren't legal. They have motorized scooters, skateboards, which move faster than a lot of cars do in the city. And they're not considered vehicles. And it's dangerous. First of all, they're going against traffic half the time. And put a license plate in these people. I mean, you want safety. You sort of have to have a little balance in responsibility. First of all, take a little liability. Make someone on a bicycle, especially a motorized bicycle, make them carry a little bit of insurance. Make them pay for something, a red light ticket, something. But make them a little liable. When they pay the first ticket, that'll be the end of being careless, I think. I was thinking on the way down here. My mother's listening to this today. There's an old movie called The Big Street. I never forget because there was a debate in the movie about this. The Big Street starred Henry Fonda and Lucille Ball. The scene I'm describing is because Lucille Ball was now restricted to a wheelchair, and she figured if she can just get to Florida, they lived in New York, it was freezing, if she can get to Florida, she can get healthy, and she could start to walk. Henry Fonda, who was in love with her, even though she was a horror, this was not the I Love Lucy. She was a horror in this movie. She treated him like dirt. Well, but point being, he loves her. He's going to get her to Florida, but they have no money. He's going to push her in the wheelchair to Florida from New York. That's the premise. Sounds crazy, but that's the premise. Mom, if you're listening, Richie says hello. Now he's pushing her. They get everyone, all their friends pull as much money. They pass the hat. They give him a pocket full. They send them on their way. They get to the Holland Tunnel, and he wants to push her through the Holland Tunnel. And of course, the toll police saying you can't do that. He says, "Why not? It's a vehicle." And they're looking. He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, I'm pushing it. It's powered it's not powered by itself. It's a vehicle." So now they're all debating as a funny part of the movie, is a wheelchair a vehicle if somebody else is pushing it? Okay, it's a cute little premise of a story. Okay. However, when you see people on their motorized scooters and bicycles and skateboards, is it a vehicle? They can go 15 miles an hour. They could knock people over. I had a friend years ago who was knocked over. She needed reconstructive surgery on her elbow. Is it a vehicle? I think so. If it's going faster than your legs can steadily pedal it, then to me it's a vehicle. And it should be insured, it should have a plate, it should come with liability, it should do everything. And that is how you increase safety for everyone involved. What if simply you have a careless idiot bike rider weaving in and out, not cuts off, but scares the driver of the car who moves the car. You've seen these things in movies on the highway. What if in the city street and all of a sudden there's an accident? And bicyclists don't hang out. They don't wait. Every one of them are a hit and run unless they can't run anywhere. They're all hit and runs. So, yeah, the city should really take a little tip from itself and help out a little bit. That's just what I'm thinking of it. What else have I got to talk about here? Well, we got Walmart out of the way. I think that's pretty cool. It's 5:21. My Bible thumpers. I get a kick out of this. Well, unfortunately, it's from the New York Post, which is only good for the sports section and the movie clock. But a Kentucky vocational school principal is facing child porn charges. I love it. All those holier-than-thou people with authority. Principal who banned books over homosexuality is busted for child porn. Unfortunately, there are kids involved, but I can't think of a better guy to go. Let's see. Philip Todd Wilson, 54, was busted Tuesday. That's last week. After state troopers received a tip, he was in possession of explicit images involving a minor. What a surprise. Never heard one of those before. I love it. Well, and I won't say all of them. That's not a fair thing to say. But people with more power, more possession of authority, in position of authority, the vanilla life is not for them, so to say. Things don't go like you see it in an old sitcom. It's not like that. Their minds are whatever it is. It just works a little different. And unfortunately, you found one who's another one. You found another one who's a pedophile, and at least had images. I don't want to say what goes on in the daily life. I don't know, but this is not the first time we heard it, and unfortunately, not the last. That's enough of that update. Let's go play a song, Jade. So I'm going way back in time, and I wanted a real good oldie, so I went with one of my old favorites. It's Big Joe Turner, Chicken and the Hawk.
Well, a girl-head chicken fell in love with a chicken hawk. Well, a girl-head chicken fell in love with a chicken hawk. You never had over heels for that hawk sweet talk. He said, take me up, Hawky, take me up in the sky. He said, take me up, Hawky, take me up in the sky. I'm just a little bitty chicken and I don't know how to fly. He said, up, up and away, we gonna fly all day. Up, up and away, we gonna fly all day. Up, 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 up and away. He made a bald-headed eagle flying up there in the blue. He made a bald-headed eagle flying up there in the blue. Well, the eagle told the hawk, I'm gonna steal that chicken from you. Well, the hawk started flying like a P-8 single jet. Well, the hawk started flying like a P-8 single jet. He said, cool down, chicken, the eagle ain't got it yet. He said, up, up and away, we gonna fly all day. Up, up and away, we gonna fly all day. Up, 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 up and away.
was Big Joe Turner. Wow. I normally don't play that song, even though it's a good song. I usually go with Flip, Flop, and Fly and Boogie Woogie Country Girl, but I like that one this week. I don't know why, but there I was. So anyway, I'm also looking around. Here it is from trendings.com. Okay, I'll take that. Kids lacking basic skills in life. So now there's a call to bring back home economics. You remember home economics? You may have taken it in high school. That's the class where they teach you the basics of cooking. There's a little sewing. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Kids can't do the basics anymore. They're still sitting at home. They can't wash their own face. So you need a bottle of mom spit laying around at all times. You remember, like, your grandma? No, yes, yeah. Everyone's grandmother, when you were a little kid, there was an older relative or had a tissue on the tongue and wiped the whatever off your face. So, yeah. Oh, my grandma, yeah. We had mom spit big in my family. But that's what it is. They're a lot of kids. They're in their 20s. They're sitting home like idiots. They don't even. I haven't eaten yet. Man, we'll spread some peanut butter and jelly, which I'll get on peanut butter and jelly in a second. What did it say? Modern students can unravel complex mathematical problems, but still lack the skills to put together a meal or do anything that helps them live as independent human beings. I guess you can now see where this story is going. And all I know is when my parents divorced, I was 10. I was still a drop young, but I used to watch my mom cook all the time, so I picked up some basics just watching and playing with the pots and pans like every other kid making noise in the kitchen. But I learned how to basically cook for myself. And while I am far from a chef, if a chef tells me what to do, I'll do it. I don't have any recipes in my head, but I'll do it. And she taught me how to clean, and she taught me how to do the laundry. So, yes, I can do laundry all day and night. Whereas most others have to buy a new pack of socks every week because, well, what do you do with the... I wore it. Now what do I do? Guess I got to buy a new one. Yeah, so there it is. And let me tell you something. In my neighborhood, it's $1.50 a pound at least. You let every towel go and you bring in that big laundry bag into the laundromat, bang. Yeah, it's a big bag. Let me tell you something. I mean, don't even bother washing your blankets in a pro shop anymore. You might as well just hang it out the window in the rain and let the hot wind blast it clean. But that's really what's going on. A lot of people who have become adults at this stage of their life cannot do the basics of taking care of themselves. And I know this because I grew up with a guy who was... I was 15, he was 18. Well, he's 3 years older than me. And at no time did he know how to make a steak. And when we talk about making a steak, this is not a hard task. The most delicious of steaks in any restaurant is not a hard task. Salt, pepper, put it in, flip it over here, flip it over there, one more quick flip, one more quick... I mean, talking about 12 minutes, maybe, and you're done. And they can't do it. And how about... And he didn't know how to bake a potato. I said, well, what are you going to know? He says, I don't know how. I said... Put it on the oven at 350. Stay with me now. Take the potato. Throw it in the back. Go take a shower and shave. Take an hour. Then come back. It's baked. I like it crispy. And he couldn't do it. But then again, this was a guy who had a job offer to drive to Florida. And... he was afraid to drive to Florida alone. I said, why? He says, you have to go with... I said, why do I want to go with you? You're going to pay my airfare back? I'm not driving to Florida. So I don't know how to get there. I said, get on 95 South. When you hit water, stop. And that was it. He didn't go. Biggest mistake of his life. But again, back to the other thing. Again, unable to do the basics of life. I mean, I'm not kidding you with... not knowing what to do without apps, without high-tech stuff, without this. With scrambling an egg, oh no. Look at all the steps involved. Oh no. Yeah, so to me, it's pretty scary. It's scary that people have become so inept. You know, I mean, I may be lazy about doing a lot of these things, but you don't forget. I mean, I couldn't even begin to explain the complexity of a frozen dinner to this guy. You know, I have to take off the foil. It was going to be a tough one. So yeah, that was that. But I think it's pretty scary that people are so bad. So anyway, schools, and there are certain schools that are bringing back home economics, which has been retitled to something else. I think because economics requires money, the understanding of money, and it's about, I guess, don't budget the household. Let's get them first making a bologna sandwich. Excuse me. And I think that's great. There's also schools bringing back penmanship for kids because kids cannot sign their own names. Cursive, script, and you sign your name, signature. Those little touch screens when you go into like a CVS or a McDonald's or anywhere else where you pay with your credit card and they want you to sign, which I don't even want to touch those things. First, they don't sign their names. People draw a line, they go a little scribbling, a few X's, a confused looking W, and hello, I'm on Live Me. Hello, Chloe. What I do when I go to those touch screens, and I pay attention to this very carefully, everybody, because I don't want to touch it. My hand is never touching this thing. I use my right pinky, and I just up and like just scribble a little bit. And I'm talking to the clerk, and I said, "You're accepting it?" She goes, "Yeah, what's wrong?" I said, "Well, I'm using my right pinky." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm left-handed." And they're just taking anything. Our house stores don't go broke with complaints. But yes, people, kids, children do not know how to write their names. They may learn it once or twice in print. They're sent home with a stencil or whatever this. Do they even know what a stencil is? But they're sent home to practice a little bit, and really they are not taught to write. So there are schools that are bringing back penmanship. There are places that are bringing back home economics. I don't even need you guys to learn how to iron a shirt or a pair of jeans. Matter of fact, if you don't want to go through the drying process, hang your jeans upside down. The weight of the top of the jeans will pull the bottom of the jeans, which are hanging on a hanger. Hang them straight down, and there will be no wrinkles. That's it. Just hang them in the breeze. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. I think it's really embarrassing. Guinness Book of Records, by the way, people. Michelle Cardboard Shell Lesko is a petite framed woman with a healthy appetite, ranked number 9 in the world by the International Federation of Competitive Eaters. I can't even IFOS? Okay, what? IFOS. Okay, whatever. And Major League Eating, the MLE, has her ravenous appetite for eating competitions has landed her a feature in the Guinness Book of Records. And why? She's the champion, fastest time for eating a bowl of pasta. Eat a hot dog with no hands. What does that mean? I guess you got to pick it up like a dog. And the most eaten mayonnaise in 3 minutes. 86.35 ounces of 2,448 grams, which is the equivalent to 3.5 jars. That's what she's in the Guinness Book of Records for. She's eaten 3.5 jars of mayonnaise. I knew somebody who did it with 1 jar on a bet. And not that little jar you pick up in the grocery, like the medium-sized jar, like if you have some kids at home. You want not that big, but like that medium one. Nasty. Her 2 male friends said no to eating 12 patty, 12 slices of cheese. Oh, no. Oh, well. That's not so bad, but still. 3.5 jars of mayonnaise. Now, what do you get for eating a hot dog with no hands? 21.60 seconds. Crown her. Give her a contract. Let's get now, what is this here? Found this last week. A lot of these stories that I read, I find actually when I go home. Not so much when today. A lot of times, things are happening all day. I'm only here once a week. So it's not like I have a news ticker, where you hear like in an old movie. I don't have this. Look at my hair. I have a fan on me. It's giving me a Hollywood breeze effect in my hair. What does it say? This was last week. Politically connected D.C. suburb wants to ban barking at local dog park. You got that? No barking at a local dog park. battle that's bad to the bone. I like that one. Some residents name them by name, please. In a wealthy Washington, D.C. suburb want to ban barking at a local dog park, and politically connected pooch lovers aren't yappy. Okay, they're not happy with it. Okay. The neighbors of Chevy Chase Village in Maryland, which include Trump-appointed official and former state attorney general, are duking it out over a patch of land that turned into an off-leash hotspot. It's a dog park with some neighbors calling it a noisy headache, according to the Washington Post. People are nuts. They're dogs. They're dogs. What the hell? They're dogs. Maybe somebody will get a belly rub out of it all. Maybe they'll be happy. They're dogs. So, let me read a little more of this here, reluctantly. That noise is my bracelet on the table. Sorry. You've created a nuisance, real estate developer Tim Bork howled to Leonard at a recent village meeting. How many times is it acceptable for you to be bothered in your house every day? The fur began flying last fall after the town spent $134,000 to turn a muddy triangle of land into a fenced-in space where the pooches can play. This story goes on the pile with the rest of them. What is wrong with having the dogs bark? I have neighbors that have their exotic, unnecessary birds in their small apartments that go every time I turn around. I love dogs. I don't care if they bark. I have a neighbor with a beagle. You want to hear a beagle go at it in a small apartment? Nice. Might as well shove a battery in its back. Leave the dogs alone. People need to get a little more important stuff going on in their life, like giving a shit about something important, like guns maybe. Not worried about the dogs. I'm sure there's an amendment for having a dog park somewhere. There's an amendment for everything. There's a right for everything, an entitlement for everything. But what can I say? It's 5:38. We have another show coming in here at 6, which Chirp About It. That's going to be Pat Sainville. And if all of you on Live Me, if you want more social media to spend time on, Chirp, CHIRP, chirpaboutit.com. Leave a 1 or 2 sentence thing of whatever's ailing you in life or you're celebrating in life. If they find it interesting, they will read it. Speaking of, I got 2 more stories that I printed up, and I'll wing the rest. Okay. Are we tackling the entitled vegans or the people who are sick with their health causes? I have people with their sick health habits, or I have the vegans. Which one do you want? People, what do you want out there? What do you want, people? Vegans or health habits? I'm leaving it to Richie. Yes, I'm also on social media. I'm all over the place here. Well, no one. Okay, vegan. Okay, here it is. Gotta love the New York Post. Woman claims drinking her dog's urine cleared up her acne. A stomach-churning video shows a woman drinking a cup of her dog's fresh urine while claiming it has cured her skin condition. American animal lover Lynn Liu, whose face is caked in heavy makeup during the clip, says... See, I laugh. Let's see. Okay. Face is caked up in makeup. It says help give her skin a natural glow. It's disgusting footage. She also incorrectly claimed that drinking canine body fluids can help cure cancer. Whoa. There you go. Doesn't say what breed you have to drink it from, though. Says, many of you ask me how I look so good, how my makeup always looks so perfect, or how I always have this natural glow. I was thinking maybe she was going to say she got laid last night, but okay, I guess not. And how does she do it? She gets a container, like a cup, and the dog is ready to go, and she holds a cup, and she catches it like a specimen. Cheers. Drinks, you gotta drink it fresh, otherwise it starts getting in. So she says, until I first drank my dog's pee, I was depressed, I was sad, and I had acne. Okay. Has vitamin A in it, vitamin E in it. Has 10 grams of calcium. It also is proven to help cure cancer. I never heard of that one. Drinking human or animal body waste, known as urine therapy, was practiced in ancient Rome, Greece, and Egypt. When they had no knowledge of anything and people died in their 20s, like with bloodletting. You know what bloodletting is? You had a high fever. I'm explaining this to Jay. So they would tourniquet, get the vein, pick something sharp, pop it, and let the blood drain. Not to the point that you bleed to death, but they would let the blood drain. And this was supposedly curing your fever. Well, you did rest easier because you lost blood. You are now dizzy. So, yeah, you went to sleep. So, anyway, this has been discussed a little bit here. A holistic nutritionist. There is holistic nutrition, something else I'm not sure about. But the dog toxin urine could contain toxins or even poisons, such as herbicides used for treating garden lawns. That's true. You notice, you never heard of a tree dying because dogs are peeing on it. And, of course, the military, the U.S. Army, also advises troops not to drink their own urine in survival situations, even if they are dehydrated, due to the liquid potentially containing harmful body waste, which is true. There are so many sick fucking people out there. I love it. Let's get to the land of the entitled. I love the New York Post this week. This was today's story. Australian vegan takes neighbor to court over barbecue meat smells. An Australian vegan has a beef with her, I love these things, with her neighbors over what she claims is the smell of meat and fish coming from their barbecue, according to reports. Scylla Carden has been locked in a legal battle since last year with her neighbors, claiming the odors have ruined her quality of life at her home in Perth. Oh, man, Perth, Australia. I've never been there. All I smell is fish. I can't enjoy my backyard. I can't go out there. Her complaint was tossed out of court earlier this year, leading her to file an appeal. The Supreme Court judge rejected her appeal in July and encouraged both parties to instead direct their considerable energy towards a resolution of their differences, do the best they can, pretty much. She's vowing to fight. Well, let me see, and hopefully Miss Carden can, and her over-entitled ass can hear me, that you're a vegan. You're not special. Let me enlighten you with what everyone says, what comedians joke about, what signs are on the walls. Almonds, oats, they don't have milk. They don't lactate. They don't have milk. It's not milk, it's chemicals. If you want to eat nuts and berries, I'll give you that you have a lot of easier time than I do when you walk through the forest and grab a handful of leaves to nosh on it. I mean, it is true. You could make tea with pine needles. You really could. But taking people to court next door to you who are not vegan, who have no idea that, who really just minding their own business because you're smelling a hamburger, doesn't make you special that you're vegan. It really doesn't make people special. I mean, I am diabetic. I am not taking someone to court because they're eating a donut next to me. I'm just not. It's just not the way it is. What? Well, yeah. I just don't. I see people, I don't stew the local grocery stores because there are Hershey bars on the shelf. I can't have it, Consider me. Me. What about me? Well, I'm not bound by the FCC here, am I? Well, fuck you then. I don't care about your vegan habits. I don't care if you're offended. Your skin's already green. You're already miserable. Why? Because you're probably not eating enough of the little that you can eat. And that is the problem. I mean, I am not kidding. I see so many people. There used to be a macrobiotic restaurant near my house. Everybody in there was supposedly a health nut. Used to look at me walking into the place once in a while to eat. They had salmon. It was pretty good. I used to go in and get it. They were all green, their skin's all oily, nobody was smiling, and there was no air in the place since he didn't believe in air conditioning so much. So I used to go in there like fall and springtime. Listen, People, I'd say get a life, but you already have a life. Maybe you want to improve on that life. Have a party. Have a party. Do something for yourselves, huh? Leave everybody else alone. Then maybe when they're even equally miserable kids don't become more miserable because you're aggravating mom and dad, they won't take their AR-15, 17s, and future 19s and come over and start shooting you up, because that's always what goes on anyway. People shooting each other or whining about what interests them. I'm a vegan. So what? So what? That's all I got to say. People on Live Me, do you really care if someone's a vegan? What? You'll add ketchup and mustard to it and dip my fries. That's right, dip your fries in it. Yes, fries, oily. Matter of fact, I never forget years ago, everything has to say organic on it. It's all organic. I saw a bag of potato chips, said organic. It's a potato. It comes out of the ground. It's organic. No, it has chemical. Let me tell you something. I've had free-range chicken. I decided I want range in my chicken. I don't know about if I agree with every last person who calls themselves trans, but I want some trans in my fat. That's what I want. I want my French fries to taste good again. That's what I want. I want whole milk. This 1.5%, which looks like dirty water, isn't working for me anymore. I want to have something with some taste. And if I have to have a heart attack while eating my favorite steak dinner, then so be it. Fortunately, there's enough technology around to keep me going longer as a gork in a bed than if I live naturally and healthy. They can keep me around for hundreds of years waiting to bring me back. And that's another thing. People with their technology to keep people alive longer. So I always hear people, not always, I'll say, often hear someone say, I want to live forever. You'll become outdated. That's what happens. You'll be outdated. You know why? Because people grow, you physically evolve. People who were born 300-400 years ago are outdated compared to people who are around now. And yes, your time will be up whether you eat nuts, berries, or a whole loaf of bologna. Enjoy it while you have it. Don't worry about it. And that's all I can know to say. Can you see if he's out there, please? Because I'll get him in here in a few minutes rather than play a song. We'll pump up his volume. I'm looking to see if Chirp About is new. What? No? He'll be here 30 seconds before. I thought maybe I like kidnap the host of the next show. What? It's a mystery to me. We'll find out if Pat Sainville is here after these commercial messages. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to wait. Let's see. What song do I want to play us out with then? Because Pat's going to be here and I got to be out of here. It's called The Hard Close because of 55 minutes. Jade has to play some really obnoxious-sounding commercial of a guy hocking up a lung, probably because he drank his dog's urine. Let us to see. Should we play a song about drinking? Or should we play a song about just having a day like this? Okay. I can do that. What I'm going to do is let Jade worry about 52 seconds. And I'm going to leave you guys. And I'm going to leave everybody with this little thought. It's Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville from 1977. I'm going to go out and have the most fattening, disgusting, veganish thing. I'm going to melt cheese on every vegan dish I find. And maybe I'm going to slap one of them with a pound of bacon in the face. Okay, everybody, it's been fun talking tonight. The world really is a crazy place. That's why I talk about it. Not the serious stuff. Everyone else tells you about the serious stuff. But these are real stories. I am not making them up. And you got to know what's going on out there because sometimes you just got to laugh. Everyone, have a good night. I will see you all next week.
Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil. Nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a warm place. Now I think, hell, it could be my fault. I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. Yes, and some people claim that there's a woman to blame, and I know it's my own damn fault.
Sitting on a pillow, waiting for night to fall. Girl in a dream, sitting on a pillow. This is the night to go to the celebrity ball. Satin and lace is a little pity. Didn't find time to call. Ready or not, gonna make it to the city. Oh, this is the night. Go to the celebrity ball. Dress up tonight. Why be lonely? You're staying home and you're weak, so why be lonely? Sitting alone, sitting on a pillow, waiting to climb the wall. Maybe tonight, and how your dream goes, she'll open her eyes when she goes to the celebrity ball. Dress up tonight. Why be lonely? You're staying home and you'll be alone, so why be lonely? Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. 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 Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music.
When it comes to providing guide dogs for people who are blind or visually impaired, one national organization is taking the lead. The Guide Dog Foundation breeds and trains Labradors and Golden Retrievers to help blind and visually impaired people increase their mobility and independence. The foundation provides transportation to its New York campus, the guide dog, a comprehensive training program, and a lifetime of aftercare services, all free of charge. The benefits to training with a guide dog at the Guide Dog Foundation in Smithtown, New York are many. Among them are small class sizes for personalized attention, a long history of excellence in dog breeding, and a highly skilled professional training staff. The foundation offers a comfortable environment and diverse training areas from country walks to city subways. If you or someone you know could benefit from the foundation's free services, call 800-548-4337.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much respect for my family and I don't want to get in trouble.
I promise, Grandma.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.com.